Hi, I'm Stephanie, the creative girl behind the designs. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you haven't already done so, I would truly appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification alerts so that you know when I post my next video. So today I want to come back to my travel journal and add in a few of the pages I talked about in the last video. So I have a variety of things that I want to potentially use today. Excuse me, I'm not sure that I'll use all of it, but I pulled everything out that I think I might use. And, I had to give myself a quick little manicure because is it just me? I don't like when my nails are bare, they feel unfinished. So I just had a little fun doing some summer nail design with some yellow. It's bright, sunny, and I am ready to dive into getting these pages created. So I have some stickers from the Happy Planner. I have a variety of journal cards and tags that I'm going to tuck into here, and you can see some of them are already on top. And I've got some, let's see, I'm going to push some of that aside. I have some washi tape that is kind of summer themed. I, again, don't know if I'll be using it all, but I have it here should I choose to. And of course, my little shell notepad. I have a habit that when I pull out Happy Planner paper from its packages, which I have a stack here already, I will use the expander discs to put them. I'll take a cover that I don't plan on using and I'll just stack them all in there so that I have everything at quick glance and I could just pull it out. So I have some Mini Happy Planner paper in case I don't want to use the one that's already in here. And then as you saw, I also have a variety of paper here. Some in its packages, some not. So I will also be tucking these off to the side. Hopefully they won't get in the way, but they're there if I should need them. So my plan for today is to create 3 lists. So I'm going to create a places to visit wish list. So this is just going to be a running list that I can do a quick jot down of, oh, hey, I'd love to go to that place someday. And it's a someday kind of list. It's not this year, this summer, or anything like that. So that's going to be a running list. I'm going to create a places to shop list, which is also going to be a list. And that is just so that if I happen to know of a location that has a particular shop that I want to go to, then I want to make sure I jot that down. And then in parentheses, I will put, the state or location that I find that shop at. And then also I'll be creating a mini summer bucket list because this summer we plan on doing a few things, just locally, not traveling or anything of that nature. So they're kind of like staycations or day trips of sorts. And then I can pull that paper out of here. What I really like is that I can pull the paper out of here if I need to. And I can always pop it into my mini everyday carry. Again, if I need to. That's the beauty of it being in a mini, is that I can switch it out. So I am going to jump in with so let me just step back for a minute. So I had on here, if you recall, the letters didn't seem to be sticking, but now that they have sat for a day or two, they seem to be okay. So I'm going to leave those alone. So most of everything that I'll be doing today is going to go in under my list tab. And then I have, there is one thing that I'm going to be putting in the back by memories. And I'm going to pull that out now because that's kind of quick and easy. So I'm pulling out my little storage here, and I'm going to grab a Happy Planner had come out with these some years ago. They are the pocket pages, I believe is what they called them. And they had different layouts. The one I've grabbed has a bigger one in the middle and then 4 smaller on the outer edges. So that's the one I'm going to grab for today. The nice thing about these is you can really make them whatever you want. You can make them, you know, a pocket. You can, you know, put in pictures. You can put in quotes. I'm going to put in a few cards from this stack over here. And it's a shame, actually, that they stopped making these because they are really fun to dress up. And you can switch things out as you need to, so I like that as well. Now, I was going to have the pictures, the 4 small pictures, but as it happens, our internet is not working so well, and so I'm unable to print the pictures, so I was not able to do that for today. But I have tucked this in, and this is going to go under memories, and that's because the pictures I'm going to print out are going to be pictures from past things we've done. So I'm just going to tuck this in here. And so that will house my memories. And then I'm going to come back up here. So now here's the interesting thing. This is a newer mini, I should say newer, mini Happy Notes. And they're supposed to be the same size as the mini, but I don't know if you can tell, but the pocket is hanging over, which it never used to do that. So I'm not sure why that is, but it's a little frustrating to have that like that, but I can't change it. But just so you know, should you find any online buy, sell, trade group or anything like that. So I'm going to then, before I jump into my list, because then I'll move this aside, I am going to grab, so I have a variety of cards. Now I can use these for journaling. I can use them just for decoration. I have a bunch of sizes. I've got, like, even this little one will be cute when we do, you know, if I do a memory page. And then I have some more smaller pieces here, which I might just tuck in behind this card because they're really cute, and I think they would inspire some like memory spreads, whether I actually do memory spreading or memory spreads on the mini, or if I do it in the classic, at least I know where to look and find them. So I may tuck those behind there. But what I wanted to do was look at these bigger ones and see what I can fit where. So I know that probably these bigger ones I'm gonna have to tuck in the back here. So let's see, do I want them all? Let's see, let's go on vacation. Absolutely. Beach is my happy place. High tides and good vibes. Relax, good times, take me to the ocean. I think the only one I'm not that big on is this maybe, but I think these 2 are the tallest. Let me just double check on that. Yes, they are. So let me at least take these 3. I like the colors of these 3. And just kind of tuck them into this big pocket in the back here. And then I've got those should I need them. All right, and then I have some of these mini ones, which I am going to, let me see which one is shorter. And yeah, so this, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to kind of split these up because these littler journal cards are really great to grab and go. So I'm going to put these in the top pocket here. I think they will fit right. Yes, perfect. And then I am going to, that's funny. Well, hello there. Escape to the beach. That's a pretty one. I'm going to put that one up front. And then I'm going to take these and put them in the back of this. And then I've got, as I said, handy or available to me, any of the little cards that I liked. I do have room for some of these, but I don't. I'm actually going to grab one of my teardrop paper clips, and I'm going to choose one of these smaller ones. So I have to choose, I've got Beach, Sandy Kisses, and Beach Life. So I am going to paperclip one of those there. For now, I'm just going to kind of tuck it off to the side because I have to dig out that paperclip, and I'll do that before I finish. Just getting something out of my planner. Okay, so let me grab, I'm going to grab 2 of these. let me think. Let me start with the first one. I'm gonna grab one out because I want to tuck this aside just so it's kind of out of the way. And then I'm going to grab, there's another paper that I want to grab out, which is in here. And it's this paper. This is going to become my places to visit, like wish list. So it's just going to be a running list. This planner cover probably would have made a cute, it says happy, 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 a cute journal as well, travel journal, but I like this one here that I have. So I'm gonna set this one aside, and then I'm going to, of course, I'm gonna need to cover this up. Okay, so I have to cover this up in order to, because I'm gonna put a sticker over it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and white some of this out. And because the mini is compact enough to, you know, hold all the information that you need, obviously there's not a whole lot of room to write in or to decorate. So for this particular list, this paper is graduated in color. And I like that it has like blues and greens in it. So I think I'm not going to be decorating much in it. But I was going to use from this Cheerful Seasons. I have a page marked here because I want to use this little shell. The shell box here. Excuse me, I think I have allergies. But I think that it's going to be, let me just pull it out. Here, I'll bring it back here. Reaching over never really works very well. So I've grabbed this out, but I'm pretty sure, I always test them this way. So I may need to throw in a sticker or two behind it. Let's see, do we want to do it this way? No, I'm going to do it this way. And I'm just going to put this sticker over the tape. Okay, so I have the sticker, which is where I'm going to put my title in, but I do have a little bit hanging over here. So I'm just going to do a quick look in here. I know that there is something I can use to cover that up. So how about a pair of sandals? That would be fun. So I'll do this, and then I'll just trim off the top. And then I have the back, which I'm not going to decorate up just yet. All right, so now what I'm going to put in here is I'm going to use, I think, my Micron 01 pen. And I'm going to put in there, I think I'm going to call it Places to Visit, and then under that I'll put Wish List. Now, I did not have enough room for wish list, but this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just write it, letter it in under. So this is going to be wish list. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to faux letter it. I lied. All right. Then I'm going to go back to the top up here. And I'm just going to kind of, this is the Fudenosuke brush pen hard tip. And I'm using the hard tip just because the letters are so close together, but I wanted to mostly just highlight visit. So I just have to use a lighter hand on this because there isn't a whole lot of space. And I did kind of change the S in here, but I can fix that. And then I'm also going to do the same with wish list. Just going to faux letter it, which is basically giving it a heavier look on the downstroke. Okay, so it doesn't always work out, you know, because nothing is perfect. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to fix some of these. I'm going to put in my tidy up the lines a little bit. And then where am I down here? I have wish list. Let me make sure that there's no lines I want to fix. it is such a small space, and I didn't really want this to be so big that it kind of overtook what was, you know, gonna go there. So this is I'm gonna leave these pens out simply because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be using them again. And then I think what I'm going to do is probably use my, okay, so I'm gonna write down 2 things that we're gonna do, or actually this is places to visit. So let me, again, my brain's just going, I have ideas and, you know, sometimes they just don't always translate. But I am going to put here, I know one place that we're going to go, or that we want to go. And there's a lot more, but I'm not going to, you know, sit here. Again, this is a wish list. So let me grab my gel pen, actually. I don't want to write with this one. I found on the paper I get different effects with, depending on whatever pen you're using. So let's see, places to visit. And some of these, you know, I've been to, but we're going to put Canada. And then I do know at some point my wish list is to get to Waco, Texas, and visit the Magnolia silos. So I'm going to put that down. I don't know that if I run into Joanna, I might fangirl on her, but hopefully it won't be too bad if I do. Okay. And then, you know, long range or not, again, this is just a wish list. So I think it would be interesting to visit Ireland. So I'm going to write that as well. And then also Paris. And then what I'm going to do is stop there and not finish out anymore, only because I want to get to the other 2 lists I'm going to make. So this is our places to visit wish list. So I'm going to set this aside. I'll put them in the planner when I'm ready, or when I'm all finished for the day. So next I want to make my summer bucket list. And I may change the paper. So let me pull this. So I have cheerful seasons. I have essential seasons, but I don't think I'm going to use that for this. I wanted something bright and very summery. And then I have, as you know, I tore apart my book. So I have all these here. And I have the original. So these came in one of, I think it was the memory books. Again, I'm not exactly sure, but this, to me, the summer bucket list for the purpose of my travel journal is it will include things that are local, but then also might include things that are, you know, something we're going to go do. So, you know, something like Canada is close by, so that might be something that would go on our summer bucket list because we thought about doing that this year. So I may improvise on some of them, but I will be using, I think, elements from here. This in itself is too big for what I want to do, so I probably won't be able to use that. There's this stickers that I love. I love these cute little ants. I thought those might be fun to try and incorporate. And then I have a bunch of other ones. Now I was going to, I pulled out to the top the ones that I figured I was going to use. So let me just pull those out. Okay, so there are these gold words. I have some the black scripted words, and then I have this, which I think I'm going to be using. So, I mean, some of these are really fun, like collect seashells, sleep in. Is that really a summer thing? That should be like an every day of every year thing, but we know we can't do that. I love this, bury your toes in the sand. So some of these will go on a bigger classic memory keeping page, but I just wanted to point them out because they are in, some of these are from the memory books, and if you want to make your own summer bucket list, you might find those memory books still available, and you know, you might want to use these as well. I mean, they are some really great bucket list items, let's say. Okay, so there's all these. And I have 2 of these, I'm not sure why. But I'm only going to work off of 1. Okay, so there's those. And then because I'm just looking for places to shift things, and I dropped my paper clip. Okay, so because the paper that was in the, again, I switched the paper out, but the paper that was in there was kind of like, it's got like a blue tinge, sort of a blue green. It does have flowers down the side, but I'm not worried about that. If it looks that bad, I could always cover it with washi and repunch it. But I did kind of look through, and there wasn't anything. I mean, this paper is blue, but then I'd have to be covering that up. And, oh, but you know what? There is this, which is fun. It's bright, it's rainbow. I think I'm gonna use that. Instead of, I was gonna do the blue, but I changed my mind. So let me just grab one of these out. Yeah, I think they barely make any mini stuff anymore. Now, the only downfall to the blank sheet is there is no lines or dots to kind of work off of. Luckily, though, my summer bucket list was going to have some boxes in it. So I can start right off with that because I'm going to use this long one and this little pink one here. And those are going to go on first. So I am going to try and line them up. Let's see if this is going to work. Now, here, I'm gonna pull this off camera. Okay, looks pretty straight. I'm happy with that. And then let me grab my little camper box, and then I can set these aside. So now what I intend to do is, so this as a summer bucket list is going to be things to do, but also places to go. So I'm going to kind of incorporate a few things. So I think for my summer, one of these boxes, whether it be the summer plans or this one, is going to include that list, that things we're going to do this summer, which might be this here. So while this does have a camper on it, I don't intend to go camping. I did camping as a child and I loved it, but camping now, I did it some years back and it, you know, as an adult, it just wasn't my jam anymore. So maybe glamping, but not camping. So I don't see any in here that say anything to the hints at like a bucket list or places to go. So I'm just checking to make sure. Let me get these out of the way. And then what I'm going to do, I see one I think I'm going to use, but I want to grab the little ants because I got to use the ants. They're too cute. I need to make sure they're going the right direction. Okay, now we're on. Okay. Good thing I checked that before I let it go too far. Okay. And then this I'm going to put, again, I'm going to pull this down. Okay, looks fairly straight. And then these, I'm going to kind of tuck these away when I'm finished doing what I'm going to do with the sticker sheet just to get some things out of the way. So what I want to do before I get too far, because I don't want to stick over that area, is I'm going to write down the side here, summer bucket list, and I'm going to use this again, my Micron 01. Now, the challenge for me as a left-hander has always been writing in a straight line. I tend to start out straight and then I go downward. If you're a southpaw like myself, we've all adapted to try and find a way to write. My mother used to write overhanded like this. Not sure how she did it, but she did. So I'm going to try and write in a straight line. Now, when I'm not sure, or more to the point, when I want to make sure I'm getting a straight line, I'll just kind of do a faint pencil line. And then I'll go back and erase it after. That's my little technique for making sure I write as straight as I can. All right, so let's do summer bucket list. Okay, do I dot my I? Yes. So I'm gonna let that dry for a minute while I keep going, only because I don't want to erase it if it's still wet. Before I decide what I'm gonna put in each box, I'm going to bring out my, let's do orange, just because it's kind of the unsung color. Okay, so as I was looking at the bucket list from Happy Planner, I see that there is a few I want to use, so I am going to pull them out so I can get them in there before I make any other further decisions. So I'm going to pull out, I'm going to put a dot next to it so I can check it off once we do it. I'm pulling out Farmer's Market. Okay, look straight, had to check that for a minute. Visit the Farmer's Market. And then, because I also have to keep in mind I can flip it over and do a few on the back if I wanted to, but I have to keep in mind like the main page and how much space I have. Let's see. Definitely summer's not summer if you don't have ice cream. I mean, what's the point of summer, right? All right, let me get that in there, get a dot. Oops, road trip. I kind of think that's what this is gonna be. But, okay, so I think that's all for these. I pulled the stickers back over because I wanna get in here a watermelon, and I know I see one there, but I was hoping for a clear one. Let me see if I can just flip through here, find a clear one. So remember I talked about also making, which I will not be making because we don't have a need for that I'm aware of, is a packing list. So already there's a sticker to do that when I need to, which is nice. Okay, so I was looking at this watermelon. So I think I am going to pull that out and I'm going to put that over here. I gotta remember not to put something on that line because I still have to erase it. So that's just gonna be eat watermelon. It's more decoration, but hey, it's summer, so we're gonna eat it. Now, I noticed as I was flipping through, there are, these I'm not sure. There are, oh, this one here, there's a staycay. So I'm thinking that I am going to put that on here. Let's see. All right, let me get this line erased before I go too far out. All right. That just gives me some room to work because I need to fill in, I think I have to faux letter it to make it stand out more. So, and just as I said that, I was thinking, I actually think I'm going to, here's my little tester page. You don't need to see that. So I was gonna faux letter the summer bucket list, but then I decided I wanted to kind of make it stand out a little bit more. So I'm thinking of because I didn't want it to match this. So I think what I'm going to do is use my mild liner brush, and it is kind of like a pastel orange or peach color. And I think I'm going to use that just to kind of go over it. So this is, you know, sometimes things when they're planned don't go as well as you thought, and this would be one of those things. I am not completely happy with how this looks. However, I don't know how I'm going to fix that just yet. So, you know, sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. But the beauty of being creative and being a decorative planner is there's always a solution to make it work. So I'm going to be covering up that side, or maybe I'll leave it. I don't know. I need to think about that. But for now, so I'm good with how this is going. So let's see. Am I done with this? Yes. And then I have, where is, oh, I need to write that in first. So I'm talking and thinking. So I have two parts of the summer plans. So I think summer plans is going to be like the things we do. So for example, I'm going to put this one away so I don't grab it by accident. And I'm going to use this, the orange one. And I'm going to make a list, and here's why. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So this is going to be summer plans. So one of the things, summer plans, we're going to go to the beach. Okay, so that, having put that there now, because this is what made me need to go into this, is this one here, which is Beach Hair Don't Care. So I think I'm going to put that here. Oop. I think today's my day. I'm trying to get it all done in one video, and it's a bit of a struggle bus today. Okay. So this is now going to be the things that we're going to do, like that wish list. So it might be, you know, make s'mores. Is it s'mores? S'mores? Not s'mores. It's s'mores. Who knew saying that was going to be so hard? I also pronounce things a little different than most people anyway, for some reason, but that's beside the point. Okay, I digress. So the point of putting this here was because I'm going to be putting in this box the things that, you know, are the bucket list items. Then over here, it's going to be bucket list, but it's going to be things that we are going to do kind of like a road trip for. So, and that's why I put staycation. I'm going to put in the first box, I am going to do, because we are going to go to Canada. Okay. And then I'm going to use the, this may be too heavy. I'm going to faux letter. I want to put at the top of this box, road trip. Okay. Again, I'll give this time to dry. So those are going to be road trips. They might be places like, we have Letchworth Park and things of that nature. So it's a distance away, but there are definitely things that we can do locally. So I'm going to just put a line here. It's interesting on these zig dotters that the dot side and the line side, the color is a bit different, as you can tell. That's just a sidebar. Okay, so let's see. I wasn't going to use pictures in my boxes, but as you know, in fact, I think I'm actually going to just put these on the outside. I was going to put these in this box, but let's see, where do I want to put this? I'm going to put this here. Okay, and then, so one of the other things, again, it's not plans per se, other than it's sort of like something I always like to do. I like to make lemonade. I always make some homemade lemonade every year, so I think I'm going to put that in there. Because these are kind of just the decorations, the fun things that are going to fill in my extra space. So let's see where I can get this. And before I dot something, let me put that back on there for a second. Put this here. And let's see. Okay, so I also pulled out, it kind of held the orange color that I was using as the zig dotter. So I'm just going to kind of put this up here. And then I pulled these out again because I want to get a pair of sunglasses in here. And I think I'm going to pull in the blue a little bit more, and I'm going to grab one of these blue ones. So now I'm just pulling the ones that have the white background, but that's okay. And then I'm also going to grab, I'm hoping it'll fit. I'd like to try and use one of these little beach balls. Let's put this one here. Oops. And these aren't, you know, these are just to fill it in. I want it to be very full. Let's see, we have, I'm just looking at spacing, and I'm going to fill that in. I'm just going to fill in whatever I can. And, oh, you know what? There should be a bathing suit, right? Okay. I don't know if these are all going to fit in here, but I'm going to try. And this one is definitely going to be, I think, the hardest. I think I'm going to have to take off one of these ants in order to make this fit. All right, but I have a plan. I'm going to use that one too. I think this will fit now. Okay. And then I'm going to use this little ant. I'm going to kind of trim up the edge there. I'm just going to kind of put him right there. One little ant by himself. Okay. Before I stab myself, because I do tend to do something like that. Now, these here, I don't think I'm going to use. Because I want to use these, I think, on bigger Happy Planner memory pages. So I think I'm going to forego using this. So this one is done, except, and again, I'll be making my lists in here. I don't like this, but I need to step back and kind of ponder the ways in which I may fix that. So this one's done for now. So now I have left the, let's see, places to shop, which is also going to be a list. So we have this list, we have this list. Okay, so now we have places to shop. So I think what I want to do is I want to incorporate some of this washi. As you know, it's the year of use your stickers. And so I want to make sure that I use my stickers in that, but I'm using them in a way that makes sense, not just kind of throwing them on there just to use it. So for this page, I want to use one of these little seashells. So I'm just going to use it. I'm going to put some dot tape on it. Just to give it a little bit extra, and I'm going to set it down here. All right. Now this does have flowers down the side, and I had pondered doing this, and I think I'm going to. So that means I will be repunching it. You know, for mini pages, these sure were challenging for some. I thought I had everything all worked out, and then I just ran into problem after problem. Okay, so let me grab my hole puncher. Okay, so here is my hole punch that should get me, hopefully, let me make sure I measure this and just see. It should get me the same holes, I hope. Here goes nothing. Pretty darn close, if not spot on. Excellent. I always like when that works out. Okay, so for this one is going to be my places to shop. I'm gonna make this seashell look like a purse. And to do that, I'm just going to give it a little handle. Okay. And actually I may use this. This is the Micron Pen PN. I believe that's what PN stands for. This is going to be, let's see, places to shop. All right. And then really all I'm going to do on this is literally just, again, going to be a list. So to keep with the color, I think I want to use my, where is it? I'm gonna use brown because, you know, seashells kind of have brown in it. All right, sand. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down this line. Okay, now, so let's say, again, my plan. Let's say, let me think of, let me just use as an example. I want to give you an example of what I mean. So let's say we go to Waco, Texas. We visit the Magnolia Silos. One of the places I want to shop is the Magnolia shop and the bakery. So I might put in there Silos Bakery and in parentheses Waco, Texas, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I was planning on using this for. And I don't want to do anything else to it. I think it's simple enough as it is. It goes nice, it works. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck these back. And then let me take an assessment here of the 3 pages. So we have here's the 3 pages. So these will now go into my my travel journal, and I'm going to do that now before I finish. And I am going to just fix this. I will post a video or a picture at the end of the video indicating what I had done. You'll see in the picture, like, if I changed anything. Everything is just a list. It gives me one central location to be able to mark these things down, write these things in, and should I need to, which I doubt I would, I'm going to pull this back. I doubt I would not grab this and go. If I'm out traveling, I probably will not need my on the go. So I'm thinking this is probably always going to be in here. But either way, I have everything I need here. And let's see. So I have places to visit, wish list, and So I think I'm going to put this first because this is this summer. This is summer 23, so I want to make sure that's right up front. And then I have my list that I can always check off when we decide on someplace we might want to go. I can just write that in there. And then I'm going to have my places to shop. And then I don't have anything I haven't done anything in the expense area yet. And then I do have this memory page, which, as I said, it kind of hangs over. It's a little bit annoying, actually, but it is what it is. And then I did grab 2 teardrop paper clips. All right, so I have both a large and a small teardrop paper clip. And I'm going to use that to attach, one of them, to attach one of these signs or tags. And let's see, because again, this is set up for summer. I think that stands out more, so I think I'm going to use that one. Now, I only grabbed both of these because I wasn't sure which size was going to fit better without covering up too much. So all I'm going to do, I'm probably going to use this one. This one seems to fit better without covering up the word. So I'll just tuck this one off aside. And there are my 3 first inserts in my new travel journal that I can now grab and go. And so I hope I have inspired you to create a travel journal, but then also to start filling it in with the things that matter to you. This is my summer bucket list. I have a wish list of places I want to visit. I have places to shop. I have expenses, as you know, if you watched the past video. And then I have an area for memory keeping or memory notes, as it may be. And that is my video for today. And I hope I've inspired you to do something creative today and every day, and that you create a beautiful life, one plan at a time or one trip at a time, if that be it. And I thank you for watching.